Hi everyone, welcome to today's video where today I look like shit. I look like I'm balding and I look gross. I'm really sick, so I don't look great. Sorry. I never look great, but I definitely don't look great today. But today we're just gonna be like looking at these figures of like the Star Wars figures. I got a few. I don't really do Black Series, but I bought the targeted or was Walmart exclusive Commander Cody, and then I bought the Mofex Mando because these are two of my favorite characters, so I had to get them. I need to get a good Obi-Wan, a good Yoda, and a good Mace Windu, and then I gotta get my villains. Like General Grievous is probably my favorite villain from Star Wars, so I definitely need him. But yeah, we're gonna look at these guys. This one looks like she's gonna be really easy to just pull out of her packaging, and this is the one I'm probably most excited for, so this is the one we're gonna look at first. Let's get our lightsabers out. Now, before we even start, I'm gonna say I have some issues with Black Series. Number one, the hinge and swivels. This one doesn't have hinge and swivel. It has old pinned joints that honestly don't hold up very well, so these suck too. I wish they'd go with the pinless double joints like Hasbro's doing with all their other lines. At least Star Wars and G.I. Joe. Dungeons and Dragons had them too, I think. So, yeah. She looks good for what she is. I'll still probably end up picking up the Mafex. Maybe transferring this head on there, because I prefer the animated style, if I'm being honest. Rosario Dawson's awesome. She's pretty good in that role. She's like, you know, she makes sense as an older Ahsoka. But I like the kid Ahsoka, the Padawan Ahsoka, because that's what I like. And my other gripe with this line is no accessories. You really don't get accessories for this line, do you? You get, like, when they have a lightsaber, you get the lightsaber. Sometimes you get a blaster. You don't really get hands. You don't really get alternate heads, especially. So I wish they'd change that. I know they have, like, a Star Wars tax, so it costs a little extra to do that type of stuff, but, like, they make their money back. Come on, you try and tell me Hasbro's not making their money back with all their lines. They'll make that money back. I know that's why G.I. Joe Classified gets the most amount of like accessories, because Hasbro owns that line. They don't have to pay license fees. But they've been starting to cut corners on that too. So Hasbro, you really need to step it up. Now, I got her lightsabers in her hand. They look pretty cool. She will be posed like this. She has an up and down hinge on this hand, and a up and down hinge on this hand as well. So they both have like up and down hinges, so you can do good lightsaber poses. That is something that I like. I like having up and down hinge when they have like a sword or a lightsaber. She's actually got butterfly joints. They're not the best, but like it's extra articulation, and it doesn't really mess anything up on the figure. It doesn't make her too much more crazy. She has really good head tilt, which is good because I know she's not gonna get up and down with her Leku. I think that's what they're called, right? Leku. She's not going to get a lot of up and down, but she gets really good head tilt, and you want that attitude for Ahsoka, especially early Ahsoka. Ooh, that girl had attitude! And then, yeah, she got a hinge and swivel elbow, so just hinges there. I wish they'd move to, when people do hinge and swivel elbows, I wish they'd also swivel up here. Sorry. I'm drinking a ginger ale, so. And then, like I showed you, all the head movement. The torso is pretty good. And then the legs can kick forward about that far. Oh my god, back really far too. Wow, that's crazy. Not that far to the side. And then you got the double jointed pinned knees that don't really get much past what a regular hinges would get. Also, I'm stupid. This is not up and down. This one's in and out, so I don't like that. I thought it was up and down, just probably because of the way I had it positioned, it looked up and down. But yeah, and then you get a upper thigh swivel actually, which they need to keep doing because they're not getting away with the stuff that, like Mafex can kind of get away with it because they can, those joints that they use, they don't use a thigh cut, they swivel on the ball. That can work if it's well enough executed, and Mafex probably does it the best, but it's still not great in my opinion. So I think everyone needs to move away from that. McFarlane Toys does that, and it's just so ugly. Well, I also forgot to mention, her lightsaber hilts do come off. Now, for me, I always remember Ahsoka with green lightsabers. Those must have been her earliest ones, because That's the color I associate with her the most. And then, of course, the white ones, I know she has the white ones, but the blue ones are cool too. I don't mind having blue ones. I associate the green ones. But you can take those off, and then they have pegs, and there's peg holes in the sides of the belt, so you can have her with her lightsabers, like, on her. And I like the way she looks with her lightsabers out, but I don't know. I feel like her lightsabers on her belt kind of complete the look. She looks kind of badass. And this is what she looks like next to a Black Series Commander Cody. And I'm just doing it like this layout today, by the way, because I kind of like doing it when I did the other day with the unboxing. And these aren't really too important of figures, and I'm just kind of chill out before I go and do a 8-figure video with 7 Spider-Men and 1 Black Cat. So yeah, she also has her pretty good hinge at the foot, and you can get some tilt out of that angle. So she's pretty cool. And this is what she looks like next to the Mafex Din Djarin. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if I want to display them together or not, because they don't really go together in timeline wise, but it's your choice. You do what you want with it. I probably will display them together anyway. I'll probably have Darth Vader and Anakin next to each other, next to Luke. Like, I'll have them all crammed in a shelf anyway, because I don't have a lot of space dedicated to Star Wars right now. I don't know if I ever will. I like Star Wars, but it's not up there for Marvel, like with Marvel or DC or Ninja Turtles or Kaijus or horror icons. That's also, keep a lookout for that. I'm going to start collecting Kaiju stuff and horror stuff, so that's cool. And then the next one, probably the one I'm least excited for, just based off of looks. Not character-wise, although not a fan of this character in the movies. I gotta be honest, I'm not a big Anakin fanboy, except for in the Clone Wars cartoon. He is a badass. He's really cool. And that's kind of why I got this, is to work as my Clone Wars Anakin, because this is my second favorite look he has. My favorite one is the armored look. He has the white clone armor on, but this is probably his most iconic look from, you know, just for him. If he had the white clone armor, oh, that would be so cool. But you see, there's something wrong with him, and it's worse in pictures than in person, but it's also pretty bad in person. His shoulders are like slouched. You see that he doesn't really have shoulders. Like, you look at her, and even she has like kind of broader shoulders than he has. You look at, granted, these guys have shoulder pads, but even underneath those shoulder pads, they have shoulders. But yeah, he's not really that great of a figure, if I'm being honest. I didn't realize he was this bad before I bought him. So hopefully a Mafex version of this guy comes out, or a better version of this from Black Series. Alright, a bit of change of scenery, because there were people in the living room and I didn't want to, you know, annoy them with this. They ended up coming in. He does have soft goods, which I'm not used to on a Black Series, because I only have, the Commander Cody, and he doesn't have anything that would be cloth. But for Hasbro, that's nice. I wish, you know, I wish Marvel Legends could get some soft goods there. I mean, these aren't like the best, or not the most lively, but these would work well for capes, you know. I mean, I prefer wire capes, but like, I'd rather have some cloth than no cloth, you know what I'm saying? Both hands are hinging and out. This is an older bodied figure, because they have these, which they're not bad. These knees get pretty good high. You can get most of the stuff you want down, not out though. That's about as far out as you get. And then you have the upper thigh swivel. Yeah, this guy's not great. His arms are too freaking long. He looks wonky. The new face they gave him, I think this is a new face, looks really good. That looks like Hayden Christensen. So that's nice. I just hope one day I can get the animated version with the clone armor, and that looks like the animated version. Now, for this guy, you can pull that lightsaber out. Okay. Hold that in my mouth for a second. And then the belt looks a little high on him. Is it meant to be this high? Yeah, it's glued in at the back. I don't like how high that looks. That looks wrong. Because, yeah, but you can put the lightsaber on him. So, that's nice. I'm going to put him right there for a second. Put his lightsaber by him. And then, this is probably what I was second most excited for. I'd say Ahsoka was probably what I was most excited for. Just because she's a different body than I'm used to on really a lot of Hasbro products. I don't buy a lot of girl Hasbro figures because A lot of the times those bodies suck. They're doing better with Marvel Legends, and G.I. Joe is killing it with everything, but the only girl G.I. Joe I own is Scarlet. I like that figure a lot though, so hopefully they start giving us good female figures. That would be appreciated, Hasbro. And then for this guy, this is Commander Rex, obviously, or Captain Rex, not Commander. He's got tape on him, and I just use my choppers, I guess. Get him out of his packaging. And I know they're accessories, but I'm gonna put them all on him because let's be honest. The part of the look. I mean, you can't have Clone Commander Cody without his sidearms and his big ass helmet. That helmet looks way too big. Almost animated series, so it kind of works for me. But yeah, I don't know if these are older. Like, I don't know if this is the new clone body or what, because I know people like complain about the old clone bodies. And I know that this Cody over here, he is on the new clone body, and I can't tell if they're the same body or what, but they feel the same to me. Maybe not. I mean, this guy, they both crunch about the same. I think these are the same body. And then actually, yeah, I have Baby Yoda on him, by the way, because I thought it looked cool. You can, obviously take the heads off. And they're both Tamara Morrison. So this one looks a little more animated. So this might be animated series. I actually thought it was from the movies, but that does look like Tamara. You got both Tamaras. I can't wait to get more of these and put them on a shelf together. I'm gonna probably commission like a custom. For most of the clones, I could probably see if I can get some custom Phase 1 helmets, because I don't like the Phase 2 helmets as much as the Phase 1 helmets. Phase 2 helmets designs aren't bad, and I get why they're there. I said it before. It's like the evolution to Stormtrooper. I get that. It's like a visual storytelling. But still doesn't mean I have to love them as much as I mean, just look how sleek these helmets are. And the visor goes down. You can lift it up. I'll probably display it down a lot of the times because that looks cool. Or maybe up. Up is pretty iconic. So yeah, those are the... I mean, this is... When I think about Clone Wars, this is the trio I think about. These three. I love Obi-Wan. Commander Cody's obviously my favorite, like, probably Star Wars character ever. But these are really the three you think about, I feel like, when you think about the Clone Wars cartoon. And that's for good reason. They're great characters, and they look amazing. So yeah, I really recommend you take a look at these guys. I mean, I got these all in Big Bad Toy Store for retail. Anakin might be sold out by now, or he might not be because that new Anakin just came out, like up for pre-order, and people probably want that more because it is a better figure. But yeah, these are great, man. Like, the only complaint is that this helmet's probably a little too big. I wish it was just kind of a alternate head. That's what I prefer. But these are not bad at all, man. Especially, for a Hasbro product, these are not bad. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be doing... Right next to me, I have a whole bunch of figure. Honestly, how about I just... You see that? I just have a bunch of shit laying all over my desk. That's what my desk looks like before a lot of reviews. And my bed is covered in boxes right now. So, yeah, this one's going to be a bit of a doozy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye!